Hello everyone, Deviacon here, and I have here for you today, finally, my custom leader class Age of Extinction Grimlock. Now I'm going to try to keep my overall random stories and exposition to a minimum, because there is a lot to talk about here. Yeah, I guess first of all, let's just dive right in. First of all, the biggest, hardest, thing that took the most time to this was getting his overall body proportion more correct, basically. They basically added this entire new section to his tail that not only balances him out quite nicely as far as weight distribution goes, but also makes his actual body look a lot fuller and more accurate and not quite so weird. Other thing, there's tons of articulation in his Dino mode now. The tail has 3 sections of articulation, the first being right here at the base. Due to the weight restriction, like the weight of the tail, if this was just a single ball joint here, it would just completely sag. So it's actually 2 ball joints, so because of that, it only moves left and right for that first one. The next section that's articulated is right here. And that can move up and down a little bit, not a ton, but enough to give it a little bit of a look. And then the last point of articulation in the tail is right here. That is also mostly left and right, but a little bit up and down too. So yeah, he can get a really nice, good sweeping tail motion in either direction now. As it should be, really. I mean, come on, why not? And then the next part, other smaller details are just little spines added all around to just kind of basically try and go as movie accurate as I can there. The next part I want to talk about is his arms. These are completely new arms. They're fully articulated. They are basically, there's a ball joint there and there's a new ball joint there. So fully articulated arms, they can turn, they can do all kinds of stuff. Oh, pop the ball joint off. Just pops right back in. And his fingers are even, yes, his head is even articulated now. Fingers, little dino claws, even articulated. And the other big thing, this dino mode, is the head. I got rid of those just horrible cat ear things they had out of rubber. It was terrible. Completely resculpted new horns to try and get that look right. Added a little bit more plating. I really want to try and add as much mass to that as I could visually to try and again balance things out, but at the same time there wasn't a whole lot of work that I wanted to add to it, basically. One thing that I do really like is I did get the Cybertronian engravings on the bottom of his eye. Camera is not focusing. Not focusing. Whatever. It is on both sides of his eye. And then trying to get that real nice, like glowing eye paint job. And yeah, and then the other thing is, due to one other minor change, his head is slightly more articulated now, so you can kind of move it around. Basically what was once a solid piece in there was split and then a ball joint was installed. Because of that, it does tend to pop off a lot, just because it's in a spot where there's a lot of other joints and movement, but nothing too bad really. But yeah, it really does add a whole nother level of articulation to his head that is just awesome. And yep, see there, that ball joint goes. That's pretty easy to fix though. Those ball joints. Alright, one other last thing I want to show about Dino mode. See, he balances just amazingly. It's great. Love it. I originally wanted to work on a fire blast effect for him, and I did get that finished. I have it right here. It was originally meant to basically just go into his mouth and sit there as a nice little display piece. Thing was, I had completely underestimated the weight of this, so it doesn't really sit in there very well, just because of the weight. But I will still include it because it is still a nice display piece either way. It's still really cool. Oh yeah, other thing. This actually has an LED in it. There's this tiny little switch right there. Yeah, so it's still pretty cool. Not exactly how it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to, but it's still pretty cool. So I'm still including it in this. Alright, so I should probably, there are still a couple of other things to show. Let me see. Okay, so I originally did want to show this, like reveal this in his robot mode, but there's this other thing I like doing when he's in his Dino mode with it. Basically, I made Grimlock, basically his crown. This is just a very, very slight interpretation for the movie version. I don't know if my camera's going to focus to pick this up, but you can kind of see that Cybertron writing on both sides of the very front piece of the crown. Basically, it says, "Me, King." And if you're wondering how I know that, Autobot, Ancient Autobot Hieroglyphs, font. Look it up. Have fun with it. Decepticon graffiti's cooler, but Autobot, so yeah, anyway. So yeah, I made the crown. This is completely hand sculpted from scratch. And I just really want to try and keep the kind of classic homage look to it, making it look spiky. But I'll show this off more when he's in his robot mode. I just kind of like throwing it on one of his horns in Dino mode because I think it's hilarious. But anyway, there are a couple of other things to show off, but those are basically just for robot mode. So, I guess I should probably get onto transformation now. Alright, so transformation is pretty much exactly the same. There's only a couple of very minor changes. The very first thing, just like before, you're going to want to do is take this entire section off. It's a lot bigger now. So yeah, that entire thing off to the side, and that becomes its own little cool thing. That new section does also transform. You'll see that in a bit. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get him transformed. Go ahead and start by splitting these. Careful with those spines, they are sharp. And underside. Oh, that's right, before I get too far along, I gotta fold up. His new arms do collapse just fine. You just gotta fold up those claws. There we go. So those split just fine now. And I guess while I'm transforming, I can talk about the paint job. I did go for basically the movie accurate paint job, so to speak, that is basically just very, very, very dingy corroded metal, which I actually spent a lot of time trying to get just right, not gonna lie. And well, I can talk about that later. Yeah, basically it was a lot of layers of just washes and more dry, a lot of layers of washes and dry brushing. I did a lot of that. A lot of that stuff. And basically I did a lot of the washes, a lot of the dry brushing. And then would use a sponge to kind of add in that corroded look in both rust and kind of this metallic turquoise color that I had mixed to get that right corrosion color down. And it was, let's just say, a battle to go between like washing it out enough. Oh god, I fucked it up. Forgot about those. Boop. Boop. There we go. Let's just say it was a battle to kind of figure out the right mixture there. Not even mixture, just basically I'd dry brush, I'd throw on the corrosion, and then I'd be like, wow, that corrosion's standing out a little too much. Let's use a little bit more dry brushing to bring that down. Oh, brought it down too much. Better reapply that corrosion. I went back and forth with that for a very long time. So yeah. But no, I feel like I did finally end up with a very good end result. And these shoulder parts are... I suppose I should move the camera up so you can finally see this. Oh, it goes sideways. These shoulder parts, they always make me so nervous. They like split sideways. Ugh. They actually did give me a tad bit of trouble. Oh, that's right, I completely forgot about this. Noticing that his shoulders aren't ratcheting anymore, I had taken those out. And also kind of smooth that out. Let's show you more of that once he's fully transformed, which is almost now, so, you know, whatever. Oh, Grimlock, you look so retarded right now. Just feet up. Feet up, that down. Okay. Hang on, move the camera up just a little bit more. Go. Straighten your head out, dude. Alright, let the dino head up. And this is something that I really did want to show off. And this was, as soon as I got the figure, this was literally the very first change I did, was I made it so the dino head, that ball joint I installed, rotates. So now, his dino head pauldrons face the proper direction. Or at least the proper direction that don't look retarded. Oh, I just popped it off the ball joint. That ball joint pops off. Easy to fix. There we are. So yeah, his dino head pauldrons look a lot more complete now. I'm sorry, that looks way better than the dino head pauldrons facing backwards. He is just really rocking that head tilt today. So yes, I honestly think that makes the silhouette much more complete, seeing the front of the dino head there. And then, do have pop those up there, almost forgot about those. Originally I had wanted to try and find a way to get the lower jaw to swing around, and then quickly realized that that just wasn't going to happen with the way that the figure was built. So yeah, there he is in robot mode. Back him up here, just a camera again. And the other thing to show off really quick is, about his dino mode before I get to anything else, is fully articulated hands now. These were originally the Shapeway. I got these hands off of Shapeways from, I believe, yeah, Fake Busker. I believe they were the Sentinel Prime leader class hands, and the spiked knuckles just worked too perfectly. I'm like, yeah, that's Grimlock right there for sure. Because I never ended up using them for Sentinel, obviously. So yeah, let me. That is basically his robot mode. Let me go ahead and I will set him aside for a sec, and then show you the other part there. Alright, so now to show off basically all his weapons. Not even all of his weapons, honestly. Just the majority of his weapons. So basically, this separates into 3 pieces. First part is right here on this ball joint. Just pop that off, set that aside. And the next part is this one. Basically, you can see it's connected by 2 ball joints there. You're gonna want to break those apart. Not break, but you know what I mean. Basically, the best way to do that is just kind of grab it in each hand and yeah, pull down to separate, and then just pull them apart. It's pretty easy. So yeah, his shield is pretty much the same. Well, I shouldn't say the same. It's still a shield. It's still as much of a shield as it ever was, but it's a lot spikier now. So I feel like that's a lot better. Oh yeah, and because of these parts that you know, hold those ball joints in place, it does make it a bit trickier for like the clearance of his hand. It still works. It's just it doesn't leave a lot of room. If you can see that, if you do that angle. I mean, if you do it the other way, it obviously has plenty of room, except for the pauldron, but you know, those were in the way before anyway. We're just gonna set that off to the side for now because it's the shield. This one, you probably recognize it's exactly how it worked before. To allow the ball joint clearance to move, those little nubs that help you transform it before aren't there. So the best way now is to just kind of take your fingers and split it apart there at the bottom. And it's still a mace just like it was before, only that spike is a little bit gnarlier now. So here, should put that in his hand. Yeah. There we go. And then this thing. This is pretty much the thing that I am the proudest about this entire custom, because this tail section extended everything, made it more balanced, did all that stuff. This made the figure better. It really did. It balanced everything out, and it was entirely scratch built, and I am just so proud of it. Basically, this transforms into a double barrel gun, inspired by and an homage to his G1 gun. Basically, these bottom sections each just fold out and then roll over like that. And as you can see, a little bit more obvious of a double barrel gun now. And it is pretty big and it does have some weight to it, but that is no problem for the power of Grimlock's massive shoulders. If anything, it adds a weight balance problem and you're going to need to worry about his feet more. His footing. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So his shoulders, no problem. If anything, you're going to have to worry more about it throwing off his weight balance in his legs. But all in all, this figure is very well made from I can't think of the word. It's well put together and it's well balanced in that sense. As soon as I saw this figure, I knew it had a ton of potential. I knew there were a lot of problems with it, but that is why I got them so early and proceeded to completely fuck around with them for the next year. So anyway, I'm just going to toss his shield on him here just so he's got it. And, oh, that's right. He needs his crown. Me king. Grimlock, me king. Yes. And the crown was sculpted to fit his head, so it fits it well, but not so well that you can't off-tilt it if you really want to do that, which I think is pretty funny sometimes. Oh, not like that. That looks stupid. Anyway, so this is still not even everything. Well, that's right. I like to flip that tail part up to the back again. It helps hold the pauldrons in place, and it also works as kind of a sheath for what I've got next. And that is a sword for him. Again, scratch built. Well, for the most part. This one's a little less scratch built because there's, you know, pieces, but Yeah. I originally wanted to see if there's a way that I could hide this in his tail, but it was just too long to for that to work and be articulated. So I do like to just kind of put this back here if his hands are already full. And you might need to play with those little tail bits. But I have gotten it to work before. Alex, that's sticking out a little bit, but you know, you can still... That's still pretty badass. Grimlock all armored up. Now all this, and I am still not done. Because there is one more coup de grace of this figure, of this set, I should say. Because that's what it is. I like my accessories for the customs I make. So the very last thing is a throne. A throne for King Grimlock. Yes. So let me get some of his accessories off of him here, so he can actually sit down in said throne and look all majestic, and I am entirely too bored for myself to be in this throne. Please, something come throw yourself in my path so I can just kill and slaughter and destroy. Love it. Alright, hang on just a sec. Alrighty. So I did originally make this throne before I actually measured things, so as a result, I do believe it is just a little taller than I originally intended, but it still works quite well. His teeth up. And if you couldn't tell, this throne was made from an old Predaking figure. If you didn't recognize the wings and such. There we are. Oh, I forgot. His arms do not need to go down much at all. Oh, that's right. It had to do with those stupid... Forgot it doesn't really work when you have the feet like right friggin' there. It may look kind of weird doing the feet on top because you're basically bending his elbows backwards, but that is actually that slight whatever. That is the small amount that it needs, basically. And you can give him his sword. Yeah, like I said, the original height of the throne was just a little bit more than I had originally anticipated. But hey, still works great. Still friggin' awesome. Yeah. Sword. Put the sword off to the side there. If it will stay. Yeah, there we go. No, losing the sword. And there we are. Shield, I don't even know where I'm going to put the gun at for now. And, really cool thing I like doing with this is it actually can sit behind the throne. Go ahead and light that up too. I'm not sure how much of that's actually picking up on the camera as far as light goes. But yeah, there are basically all of those crazy accessories and things that I made for Grimlock. The camera in, go ahead and show him off. There he is, just hanging off the throne, being bored, holding onto his mace, sword off to the side, gun and shield on the ground because I doesn't know where else to put them. Giant fiery explosion at the back of it. Never really did get really close in there to see that nice face and those just burning eyes of hatred. I guess that's something I had kind of overlooked too, is that, yeah, his head is also now in a ball joint. As much as I talked about his head tilt going on, completely overlooked mentioning that, oh yeah, by the way, the reason his head's tilting, yeah. But yeah, that is my custom leader class Age of Extinction Grimlock. And, let me just slide it back on here, yeah. He will be up on eBay relatively soon. I, honestly don't know how many more of these Transformers customs I'm going to be doing. I've got a lot more going on. I will have more videos that'll tell you guys what is going on. And again, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for your support. I really would like it if you could all just continue to watch the things that the next few things that I have to put out. They are very important to me. This is the best way I can put it. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. And thanks again. Take care.